Hello there, very good evening and welcome to Primetime News on TV1 for the Newsfirst, where the people come first. I'm Martin Satyanesan.
And I am Rochelle Damodar. Let's start off with a look at your headlines for tonight.
President attends World Government Summit and engages in bilateral talks with numerous leaders. No power cuts tomorrow. Calls for investigation into recent power outage. Police establish Central Criminal Investigation Bureau. Yoshita and Daisy to be charged with money laundering. Indian Prime Minister Modi visits France.
On to those stories in detail. At the invitation of UAE President Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, President Anur Kumar Dissanayake is currently on an official visit to the United Arab Emirates. Today he attended the World Government Summit, which is being held under the theme Shaping Future Governments. President Dissanayake is scheduled to address the summit tomorrow.
This morning, President Dissanayake met with Sheikh Abdullah bin Mohammed Al Qasimi at the Jumeirah Beach Hotel in Dubai. The discussions focused on strengthening economic and investment cooperation between the two countries. Sheikh Al Qasimi is the CEO of Master Investment Group and a relative of the ruler of Ras Al Khaimah. The President's media division reported that President Dissanayake had several other significant meetings today. He held bilateral discussions with the Colombian President Gustavo Petro and met with former British Prime Minister Tony Blair. Additionally, President Dissanayake engaged in talks with Pakistani Prime Minister Muhammad Shehbaz Sharif and Kuwaiti Prime Minister Sheikh Ahmed Abdullah Al Ahmed Al Sabah. President Dissanayake also met with the CEOs of Dow Jones and Oracle.
The Ceylon Electricity Board has announced that there will be no power cuts tomorrow. CEB spokesperson Dhammika Wimalaratne said that this decision was made following a review of the electricity demand for the day. As planned, power cuts were implemented today from 3:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. Each area experienced a power cut lasting 1 hour and 30 minutes. Meanwhile, the CEB has indicated that 3 inactive generators at the Norachole power plant are expected to be restored by Thursday. CEB spokesperson Dhammika Wimalaratne stated that once the generators are operational, there will be no need for further power cuts to manage the national grid.
All the water in the boilers have evaporated and we can't fill them. The electricity required at the time for the pumps wasn't available. After the water is evaporated, we need to refill them, and there cannot be a significant difference in the temperature between the water added and the boiler. If that happens, it will result in damages to the boiler. We will have to wait until the temperature in the boiler reduces. Also, the diaphragms in the condenser have also been damaged. This usually happens when a tripping like this occurs. We will be able to bring things in that region back to normalcy by tonight. That is the plan.
The Ministry of Power has announced the appointment of a 5-member committee to recommend measures for enhancing the stability of the national power grid. This initiative follows the directives of the Minister of Power and Energy, Kumara Jakuri. Professor Lilantha Samaranayaka from the University of Peradeniya has been appointed as the chairman of this committee. Last Sunday at approximately 11:15 a.m., the country experienced a widespread power outage. The Ministry of Power's preliminary examination attributes the disruption to a fault at the Panadura grid substation, which caused an imbalance in the system. However, former Minister of Power Patli Champika Ranawaka argues that such a fault should not have led to a nationwide blackout, citing the system management protocols of the Ceylon Electricity Board.
Lanka විදුලි බල මණ්ඩලයේ පද්ධති කළමනාකරණය එහෙම නැත්නම් system control.
Looking at the system management of the Ceylon Electricity Board or system control, there is no justifiable reason for a nationwide blackout due to a marquee causing a fault. While such an incident could cause issues at the Panadura grid substation, it should not lead to a system-wide blackout. The primary reason for the outage is a failure in the system management, which cannot be overlooked. Additionally, the Norachole power plant has inherent problems that the CEB needs to address. The imbalance in the system with 900 megawatts from Norachole's units has caused issues on the Putlam-Biyagama line. This is why the Biyagama line has tripped in 2021, 2023 and before, leading to a nationwide issue. However, the power plant should be able to continue operating even with zero external load by taking its house load. The failure to do so and the shutdown of all 3 units is a management issue at the plant.
බලාගාරයේ යන්ත්‍ර තුනම අක්‍රිය වීම. ඒක ඒ බලාගාරයේ එතන පාලනය කරපු අයගේ ප්‍රශ්නයක්.
The trade union affiliated with the Ceylon Electricity Board and the Potujana Perumna share similar views on the incident.
It is not uncommon for a monkey to cause a fault on a 33,000 volt transformer at a grid substation. However, for such an incident to result in a nationwide blackout is unacceptable according to system management protocols. The system control at Palavatta is established using the best methods available globally, raising serious concerns about whether this was a deliberate act.
Several trade unions, including the CEB's Technical Engineers and Officers Association, have lodged a complaint with the Criminal Investigation Department demanding an investigation into the power outage.
A thorough investigation is essential. The information we have indicates that necessary measures to mitigate system risks were not implemented. Those responsible for this negligence have committed a criminal offence. We have filed a complaint with the CID seeking a formal investigation. The CEB has stated that the Norotcholai power plant cannot be reconnected to the grid until Friday, resulting in additional costs that will ultimately be borne by the public through increased electricity bills. Those responsible must be accountable.
During the previous government, the country experienced several instances of widespread power outages. An investigation conducted while Gamine Lukuge was the Minister of Power identified individuals responsible for these outages. However, no action was taken against them.
During the power outages, we conducted an investigation through the CID and found that an official was responsible. When we tried to take legal action, Gotabaya Rajapaksa advised against it.
Given the accusations from various parties, shouldn't there be a thorough investigation to identify those responsible for the current power outage as well? Dr. Tilak Siambala, chairman of the Ceylon Electricity Board, provided further clarification on the matter.
සැපයුම සහ ඉල්ලුම කළමනාකරණය කිරීම සඳහා අපගේ පද්ධති පාලන අංශය නිතිපතාම ඒ සැලසුම් කරලා පද්ධතිය පවත්වා.
Our system control unit consistently plans and implements necessary measures to manage supply and demand. On holidays, consumer demand is low, but the amount of electricity produced from renewable sources depends on the availability of those resources. During midday, solar power production is high, but the demand is low. We strive to maintain this balance at all times. If a disruption occurs, that impact depends on the available power plants and consumer demand at that time. The Norotcholai power plant is the strongest in our system, but it cannot be quickly started or stopped due to its design. This is not a fault of the plant, but an inherent part of its design. If the power system is suddenly halted, the plant cannot immediately shut down, leading to high pressure within the plant. This is managed by a safety valve which must be reset before the plant can be restarted, taking several days. This is a safety feature, not a fault of the plant.
චොලි බලාගාරය හදිස්සියේ නතර කරන්න සිද්ධ වුණොත් නැවත පණ ගැන්වීම සඳහා දවස් 4ක වගේ කාලයක් ගත වෙන්නේ. නමුත් ඒක එහි තියෙන ආරක්ෂණ පද්ධතිය ක්‍රියාත්මක වීම මිස එහි දෝෂයක් නෙවෙයි.
During today's cabinet discussion press briefing, journalists inquired about the recent nationwide power outage.
At present, the Ministry of Power, the Ceylon Electricity Board and the Engineers Association of the CEB have provided explanations regarding the imbalance in the system. This is a serious issue affecting the country's economy, making it difficult for businesses to operate and disrupting household activities. Therefore, the CEB will work towards a permanent solution. In the short term, they are implementing measures to address the issue.
යොදමින් ඉන්න බව කියන්නට පුළුවන්. එදා දිනේ තුල සිදු පාඩුව පිළිබඳව තක්සේරුවක් කරලා තියෙනවා රජයේ පැත්තෙන් කොහොමද මේ වෙන්නේ? දැනට විදුලි බල මණ්ඩලයේ පැත්තෙන් එහෙම වාර්තා.
Currently, there are no reports from the CEB regarding the losses. However, they are studying the impact and weaknesses of the system. I believe the CEB will present a detailed report soon. You are aware that some power plants become inoperative following an imbalance in the system. This is how the system is designed. I cannot specify the exact time required for recovery, but the CEB has indicated it may take around 4 days. Daily schedules for power cuts will be provided, so I cannot confirm the end date at this moment. Hopefully this will be resolved within the next 2 days as per their estimates.
A decision has been made to establish a new Central Criminal Investigation Bureau, in addition to the existing Criminal Investigation Department. Furthermore, the CID will be reorganized into to operate in 2 separate divisions.
Senior Superintendent of Police Buddhika Manatunga, the police spokesperson, held a press conference in Colombo to clarify the new administrative changes within Sri Lanka Police. Under the new changes, a Central Criminal Investigation Bureau will be established, comprising 6 divisions.
Under this new structure, we will establish 6 divisions: the Illegal Assets Investigation Division, the Homicide and Organized Crime Investigation Division, the Financial and Commercial Crime Investigation Division, the Cybercrime Investigation Division, the Human Trafficking and Smuggling Investigation Division, and the Marine Investigation Division. Additionally, there will be a Criminal Intelligence and Analysis Division. These divisions will handle investigations that are currently managed by the Criminal Investigation Department. Depending on the significance and severity of each case, investigations will be conducted either by the CID or the Central Criminal Investigation Unit. The Inspector General of Police will make the final decision on which unit will handle each investigation.
The Central Criminal Investigation Unit will operate under the direction of Deputy Inspector General of Police Nihal Thalduwa, with Senior Superintendent of Police Shania Besekara serving as its director. A new position, Senior Deputy Inspector General of Police for Criminal and Financial Crime Investigations, has been introduced. Senior Deputy Inspector General of Police Asanga Karavita has been appointed to this role, overseeing both the CID and the Financial Crime Investigation Division. The Financial Crime Investigation Division will include 2 sections: the Financial Crime Investigation Section and the Illegal Assets Investigation Section. Deputy Inspector General Pavitra Dayaratha has been appointed to lead the Financial Crime Investigation Section, while Deputy Inspector General P. Ampavila will continue to head the CID.
The Criminal Investigation Department currently has a large number of investigation files which require a significant amount of time to process. These include financial crimes, misuse of state funds and property, and fraudulent activities. To expedite and efficiently handle these investigations, we have implemented a new administrative structure. Previously, the CID operated under a Deputy Inspector General of Police. We have now appointed a Senior Deputy Inspector General of Police to oversee the CID. Additionally, we have established a new division for financial crime investigations, which includes the Financial Crime Investigation Section and the Legal Assets Investigation Section.
Sri Lanka Police plans to establish separate crime divisions in all 9 provinces.
Provincial crime divisions which have not been operational until now will be established to cover all 9 provinces. Currently, crime divisions are functioning in the western and southern provinces. The new divisions will ensure comprehensive coverage and will operate under the direct supervision of the Senior Deputy Inspector General of Police for each province.
A man was shot dead on Benedict Mawatha in Kotahena, and police have identified the victim as an associate of the notorious drug trafficker known as Pukudu Kanna. Senior police officials have indicated that the shooting was carried out by a rival faction led by a woman known as Kudu Selvi.
At around 7:30 p.m. yesterday, 2 individuals on a motorcycle opened fire on a man standing near a 3-wheeler using a T-56 firearm. The Colombo Crimes Division, along with 3 police teams, has been deployed to investigate the incident. The 43-year-old victim, who was critically injured, succumbed to his injuries after being admitted to the hospital. Police have reported that this is the 13th shooting incident recorded since the 1st of January this year. Police spokesperson SSP Buddhika Manatunga stated that 7 of these incidents have been linked to organized crime groups. A police constable attached to the Mount Lavinia police station was arrested for allegedly aiding and abetting another constable who disappeared with a T-56 firearm. The arrested individual is a 28-year-old resident of Galapita Mada. The constable in question, who absconded with the T-56 service firearm, is believed to have fled to Dubai on the same day. He left his post around 5:30 p.m. on the 8th February, taking the firearm with him, and was scheduled to be on duty from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Upon discovering his absence from the designated designated duty location, an investigation was promptly initiated. The authorities have since launched operations to recover the stolen firearm and have taken the suspect's motorcycle into custody. The constable who aided in the escape was presented before the Mount Lavinia Magistrates Court and was ordered to be held at the Mount Lavinia Police Station for questioning until the 13th of February.
The police spokesperson said that 17 police officers have been dismissed from service on drug-related charges since the acting Inspector General of Police assumed duties.
To date, we have permanently dismissed 17 officers from the police service. This is not a suspension, it is a complete dismissal from service. Additionally, we are currently conducting investigations into several other officers. This process was initiated by the new Inspector General of Police, who took office approximately 4 months ago.
Newsfirst with the people. Sri Lanka police have taken steps to file charges against Yoshitha Rajapaksa and Daisy Forrest under money laundering allegations related to a property purchase in Ratmalana.
The charges against Yoshitha Rajapaksa and Daisy Forrest stem from investigations conducted since 2016. Police discovered that Yoshitha Rajapaksa and Daisy Forrest maintained a joint account to facilitate the questionable property purchase in Ratmalana. Based on these findings, the Attorney General has directed that Daisy Forrest be named as a suspect in the case.
Since 2016, we have been investigating Yoshitha Rajapaksa regarding over 59 million rupees found in his account. He failed to provide a reasonable explanation for the source of these funds. Consequently, we initiated an investigation under the Money Laundering Act. It was revealed that the funds were invested in fixed deposits and bank accounts maintained jointly with Daisy Forrest. Following the Attorney General's instructions, Daisy Forrest has also been named a suspect. Today, both Yoshitha Rajapaksa and Daisy Forrest were named as suspects in the Kaduvela Magistrates Court, and legal proceedings under the Money Laundering Act will continue. The necessary legal actions will be taken against Daisy Forrest as per the Criminal Procedure Code.
Today, a discussion on the upcoming provincial council elections was held at the SLPP headquarters with the participation of Namal Rajapaksa, the national organizer of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna. Journalists questioned former MPs about the compensation received for damages to their homes.
ආණ්ඩුවෙන් සල්ලි ගත්ත තමයි. ඒක නෑ කියන්නේ නේ.
ඒ මුදල වැඩි කියලා තමයි චෝදනා කරන්නේ.
ඒක ඉතින් ඒගොල්ලෝ තීන්දුව කරන්නේ. මහින්ද මහත්තයා ගේ තාක්ෂේරු කරපුවා තමයි අපේ ගෙවල් තාක්ෂේරු කරේ.
ගොඩනැගිලි මගේ 14ක් ඉවර කළා විනාශ කළා. ඒ 14ටම ඔය මුදල බලන්න ඕනේ. මේ වල උසි ගන්නපු සියලු දෙනාටම විරුද්ධ කොමිසමක් පත් කරන්න ඕනේ. රටේ ආර්ථිකයටත් මාස විශාල විනාශයක් කෙරුවා. ඒ නිසා අපේ රජයක් යටතේ අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම කොමිසමක් පත් කරනවා. ඔබතුමා නේද කෙහෙලිය රඹුක් කළා මහතාගෙන් පස්සේ මුදල ගන්න තියෙන ඔබතුමා නේ? නෑ මුදලේ ප්‍රශ්නේ කෙහෙලි යමතුමාගේ ගානයි මගේ ගානයි මේ පාරේ ඔබතුමාට මට කියන්න බෑනේ. මේ හරියට බලන්න ඕනේ නලින්ද හරියට උත්තර දෙන්න ඕනේ මොනවාට මොනවද දරන් තියෙන්නේ කියලා.
මිලියන 30ක් දුන්නා කියනවා. මට හම්බුණා. ඔව්. හැබැයි ඊට අමතරව වාහන මිලියන 100කට එහා වටින රජයේ වාහන ඒගොල්ලෝ ගිනි තිබ්බා. දැන් මගේම රජයේ වාහන 3ක් අපේ ගෙදර තිබිලා ගිනි තිබ්බා.
දැන් ඔබතුමාලා මේ වැඩියෙන් මුදල් ගත්තා කියලා දැඩි චෝදනාවක් එනවනේ මේ.
ඉතින් අපි ඒක තමයි කියන්නේ. ඉතින් තාක්ෂේරු කළා තාක්ෂේරු දෙපාර්තමේන්තුව තමයි බලන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට අපිට දැන් අපි ඒ කාලේ මම කිව්වා මට සල්ලි එපා ගේ හදලා දෙන්න. ගේ හදලා අපිට ගේ හදලා දුන්නා නම් අපි කිව්වා සල්ලි මේ සල්ලි මැදිත් කියලා තමයි අපි කිව්වේ.
Today, a group of union representatives filed a complaint with the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption, demanding an investigation into the sources of wealth of politicians who received compensation for property damages.
These individuals have been involved in long-term politics. How can those who live on their parliamentary salaries and allowances amass such wealth? We need an immediate investigation into how they acquired assets valued in the millions, supposedly for property damages. The public's money must be returned to the people, and these corrupt individuals must be punished and brought to justice.
The cabinet spokesperson announced that an investigation has been initiated into the compensation claims received by certain individuals.
Some divisional secretaries have reported that they were pressured to overestimate compensation amounts. We have presented a record of these payments to Parliament. There is significant public concern and controversy surrounding these compensation claims. Various institutions have now begun investigations into this matter. The government is also investigating those who received compensation. Additionally, complaints have been filed with the Bribery Commission regarding funds obtained from the President's Fund. We are also examining the issuance of bar permits, as it is unlikely that politicians would directly apply for these permits. We are looking into the involvement of their relatives and the financial transactions involved. More lists will be presented in the future, including information on those who used fake ID numbers to obtain medication from military hospitals. These investigations are being conducted at various institutional levels, and you will be able to see the progress.
The proposed alliance between the United National Party and the Samagi Jana Balawegaya is currently facing difficulties. Some factions within the SJB have reiterated their opposition to such an alliance.
Several rounds of discussions have taken place between the UNP and the SJB. Ranjit Madhuma Bandara stated yesterday that the talks were progressing successfully. Today, SJB MP SM Marikar stated that the discussions have been temporarily halted.
As far as I know, the discussions with the UNP have been temporarily suspended. Regardless of the outcome, Sajith Premadasa will remain the leader when the camps unite. You can think about that. However, no one has the right to come to a discussion and bring up these issues that were not discussed. We are not asking for a separate symbol from an elephant or a telephone. How can that be? You can't make the saddle fit the horse. The horse must fit the saddle. This is not about merging with the UNP, which has no voter base. Do not confuse this with joining corrupt individuals or those without a voter base.
Up next is what happened to the village.
What happened to the village?
Located at the Mahara Junction on the Colombo Kandy Road, this 5-story building was constructed in 2016 with 370 million rupees of public funds by the Ministry of Megapolis and Western Development under the Sukita Puravara project. Originally intended as an administrative building, it now houses the Kalani Education Office, the Mahara Sub Post Office, the Indigenous Medicine Office and a Samurdi Office. Despite its potential, the building remains largely underutilized. It includes an auditorium with a seating capacity of 450, which has not been put to any significant use.
දිලිසි මහරන්තියේ තියෙන්නේ. ලොකු රංගන ශාලාවක් තියෙනවා, පුඩු බර ගානක් තියෙනවා, පුඩු දැන් කැඩිලා. ගන්නම දෙයක් නැහැ. ඉතින් මේකෙන් ගන්න පුළුවන් ප්‍රයෝජන දසදහස් ගණක් තියෙනවා. ඒ තරම් වටින තැනක් මෙතන.
The building also features 14 shop spaces and facilities for open-air exhibitions and parking for 32 vehicles. However, it lacks proper administration and remains a symbol of wasted resources. Isn't this a crime?
What happened to the village?
The executive director of the IMF called on the Prime Minister last afternoon.
Executive Director of the International Monetary Fund, Dr. Krishnamurti Subramanian, paid a courtesy visit to the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, Dr. Hari Amarasuriya, at the Prime Minister's office. The meeting focused on key economic matters including Sri Lanka's tax policy, the effective management of tax revenue and measures to enhance public sector efficiency.
A delegation led by the Japanese ambassador to Sri Lanka, Akio Isamata, visited the Kilinochi and Jaffna regions today.
Ambassador Somata visited the minefield in the northern province, where Japan has been supporting demining activities since 2022. The group also engaged in discussions with authorities in the region.
After visiting two demining sites, I just had a meeting with local NGO and international NGO, which are engaged in this demining activities, and I really appreciate their dedicated efforts and energy put into this demining operation. Japanese government has been funding this demining project all along for about more than 20 years, because we think it is very important for the local people to be ensured a safe environment for their daily activities, including economic activities. So we'll try to continue our assistance in this regard as much as possible. And beyond these demining activities, we like to extend our assistance for the socio-economic development of the northern province, so that income gap will be bridged in the future, and national reconciliation process will make progress in a very smooth way.
Following this, the group visited the Faculty of Agriculture at the University of Jaffna. The Vice-Chancellor of the University of Jaffna and other officials were also present at the occasion. They also observed the training complex and farm management building, which was constructed through Japanese aid.
The Iranian embassy in Colombo hosted a reception in commemoration of the 46th anniversary of the Islam Revolution victory in Colombo last evening. The 46th anniversary of the victory of the Islamic Revolution and National Day of the Islamic Republic of Iran was held in Colombo yesterday. Ministers, parliamentarians and many other distinguished dignitaries were present at this occasion.
In the Islamic Republic of Iran, the people's vote is the ultimate authority, and the rejection of domination and submission remains the red line and guideline principle of its foreign policy. From the beginning day of victory of the revolution, Iran faced some of the most severe economic sanctions in modern society, which continue to affect the country to this day. From a human rights perspective, vulnerable groups such as patients with critical medical needs and ordinary citizens should never have been the targets of the sanctions. However, the reality is that these sanctions have made it difficult for Iran to obtain sustained essential medicines and basic necessities from abroad. This situation promoted Iranian intellectuals and academics to embrace the concept of resilience economy, relying on national capabilities to meet domestic needs. Today, Iran stands as a nation that possesses advanced technologies and leads in various fields of science and industry. Iran is now a gateway to diverse opportunities for foreign investors. Our country is strategically located at the crossroads of global energy corridors, and trade routes has become a regional powerhouse in science, technology, and industry. With a vibrant economy fueled by our vast natural resources, Iran plays a critical role in the global energy markets. Iranian hardware and software industries are poised to establish more robust presence in Sri Lanka, further fostering our collaboration in technologies and industries. I'm pleased to declare that Iran is fully prepared to enhance bilateral relations with Sri Lanka in these areas.
We have made great strides over the years to cooperation, especially in the economic and cultural spheres. I take this opportunity to extend our heartiest appreciation to Iran for the support and solidarity extended to Sri Lanka in the multinational fora, especially Iran's support for Sri Lanka's successful candidature. Our two countries continue to work closely in multilateral and regional fora, particularly at the United Nations and as members of the Indian Ocean Rim Association. In 2024, 10,858 Iranian nationalists visited Sri Lanka for tourism purposes. I take this opportunity to invite more Iranian friends to visit Sri Lanka and experience in its ancient history, rich culture and natural beauty. In this endeavor, Sri Lanka looks forward to investment and partnership from Iran in these exciting new programs and sharing of best practices.
Tourism Malaysia announced the launch of its sales mission to Colombo yesterday.
Tourism Malaysia announced the launch of its sales mission to Colombo, Sri Lanka, aimed at rejuvenating its presence and strengthening ties with the Sri Lankan tourism market. This strategic initiative follows a remarkable rise in tourism statistics, with 58,015 Sri Lankans visiting Malaysia in 2024, a substantial increase of 122% compared to pre-pandemic numbers in 2019, when 26,058 Sri Lankans travelled to Malaysia. The mission highlights Malaysia's potential as a key destination for Sri Lankan travellers. With 30 flights per week from Colombo and a total seat capacity of 4,990, the mission underlines the enhanced connectivity between the two nations, making travel to Malaysia more accessible than ever.
Retired Air Vice Marshal Anil Golani, Director General of the Centre of Air Power Studies in India, emphasized that seamless collaboration among military forces during critical situations despite political challenges. He was speaking at the Colombo Air Symposium.
You know, when it comes to the militaries, we are the ones who collaborate seamlessly when we come together when any disaster or any response is required for a critical situation. It is the politics which actually hampers, and the narrative that is played out in the nations, which hampers our collaboration. So I think this question that was asked was, why can't we do it during peacetime? I think politics decides that whether you can do it or not. This issue of collaboration on the Quad, again, what are the limitations? I think we are all aware that Quad was, came out after the Boxing Day tsunami, the effort that was provided by India and the other countries. And I think the realization came in 2007 when Shinzo Abe actually formally launched this initiative of Quad. And since then it has grown. And I think when you ask for the limitation is, I wouldn't say it's a limitation. I would say that the Quad is a platform where we collaborate on issues of HADR, on space, for healthcare, for everything, for mutual peace and prosperity, and a safe, Indo-Pacific region. And this is what its strength is, and we got to build upon this strength. So there is a lot of criticism that why Quad doesn't have a permanent headquarters, Quad doesn't have an office like the other UN organizations, but I think it is doing in today's times far better and far more than the multilateral organizations like the United Nations is doing as of today.
In a world grappling with rapid transformation and unprecedented challenges, the global economy finds itself at a critical juncture. Kristalina Georgieva, Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund, addressed these issues, emphasizing the remarkable adaptability of businesses and the need for strategic policy shifts. She was speaking at the World Government Summit.
So if you layer on top of these underlying issues, the sheer amount of change underway, you end up with a very fragile global economy that could become unstable.
And that is where I would be careful not to draw a definitive conclusion. Why? Because what we are seeing is remarkable adaptability of businesses and countries to a world of very fast, very dramatic change. So we humans can take pride of our ability to adapt. We have spent a lot of time analyzing this new world in which we live in, because you're right, the world we had in the past is no more. What guarantees winning in this new world? Well, three things. One, clear space for private initiative. Private sector is more adaptable. Two, embrace technological transformation, digitalize your economy. Three, diversify. You cannot anymore rely on one sector to drive your future. So, I mean, I actually, I thought about that. I have 3 Ds. 3 Ds. Deregulate, digitalize, diversify. Please do it.
What was it? D?
Deregulate.
Yes.
Get the government out of where it doesn't belong.
Yeah.
Digitalize, make your economy more productive, embrace technology, and diversify. Diversify your economy, diversify your friends, diversify who you work with.
Donald Trump is expected to face fierce resistance from Jordan's King Abdullah at the White House today in their first meeting since the US president proposed moving Gaza's population to Jordan.
Donald Trump meets Jordan's King Abdullah for what is likely to be a tense encounter following the US president's Gaza redevelopment idea and threat to cut aid to the US-allied Arab country if it refuses to resettle Palestinians. Trump's proposal, floated 1 week ago for the US to take over Gaza, move its shell-shocked residents and transform the war-ravaged territory into Rivera of the Middle East, drew a negative response from the Arab world. The concept has introduced new complexity into a sensitive regional dynamic, including the fragile ceasefire between Israel and the Palestinian militant group Hamas. Hamas on Monday said it would stop releasing Israeli hostages from Gaza until further notice, saying Israel was violating the agreement to end strikes that have pummeled Gaza. Trump later proposed cancelling the ceasefire if Hamas does not release all remaining hostages it took on the 7th October 2023 by the weekend. King Abdullah has said he rejected any moves to annex land and displace Palestinians. On Tuesday, he is expected to tell Trump such a move could spur radicalism, spread chaos in the region, jeopardize peace with Israel, and threaten the country's very survival.
India Prime Minister Narendra Modi said at the AI Action Summit in Paris that India is developing its own large language model in a public-private partnership.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrived in France on Monday on a 3-day visit during which he will co-chair an AI Action Summit with French President Emmanuel Macron and hold bilateral talks with him. He attended a welcome dinner hosted by French President Emmanuel Macron at the Élysée Palace ahead of the Artificial Intelligence Summit. At the venue, PM Modi met several other world leaders who will be attending the AI Summit, including US Vice President J.D. Vance, the first such meeting of the two leaders after Vance took oath last month. PM Modi and Macron will also hold discussions in both restricted and delegation formats and address the India-France CEOs Forum. On Wednesday, the two leaders will meet Mazaga's War Cemetery, maintained by the Commonwealth War Graves Commission in Marseille, to pay tribute to the sacrifices made by Indian soldiers in the First World War. They will inaugurate the newest Consulate General of India in Marseille. This is PM Modi's 6th visit to France, according to officials. From France, PM Modi will travel to the US on the second leg of his two-nation tour.
The third gathering of the Photographic Society of America is being held in Sri Lanka this year. Today, the team visited the Ambalangura region as part of their 8-day tour in the country.
The Photographic Society of America, on day 4 of their 8-day tour, made their way to the Ambalangoda region in the southern part of the island. The team were taken to a traditional village in Ambalangoda, where they witnessed the rich culture and tradition in Sri Lanka. The team were given the opportunity to capture the traditional playing of Rambana, which is famous especially during the festive season in the country. The ancient tradition of making masks in Sri Lanka was also captured through their lens. The team were also able to capture several other traditions during their visit.
The official launch of Kala Commune, South Asian Residency Exhibition showcasing collaboration and cultural exchange took place in Colombo yesterday.
Kala, rooted in the Sanskrit word for art, is a dynamic platform celebrating modern contemporary South Asian art and championing its narratives locally and across the diaspora. In its second edition, Kala amplifies the Sri Lankan art on the global stage, coinciding with the 75th anniversary of the University of Visual and Performing Arts, Colombo.
We're excited to be collaborating with the University of Visual and Performing Arts for this iteration. This is our second iteration of this platform, and we are celebrating the 75th anniversary of the University of Visual and Performing Arts. Artists from India, Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh and Sri Lanka worked over the last month to produce an exhibition which will be presented in the JDA Pereira Gallery from the 10th of February to the 28th of February, and it will be open to the public during these days. We are also presenting an exhibition of modern and contemporary art looking at the founding principles of the Haywood Gallery, the Institute of Visual and Performing Arts. This platform is open to the public. We invite all art enthusiasts, students, anyone interested in learning more about Sri Lankan contemporary practice and modernists, as well as our wonderful neighbors from the region who have been able to join us for this project. We welcome you all to join us over the next days. Please go online at www.kalasouthAsia.com to access our programming, where you can book in to join us over the next few weeks and enjoy the programming for Kala and celebrate South Asian art and Sri Lankan art with us.
Showcasing the legacy of Sri Lanka's pioneering Haywood masters alongside contemporary responses and through the Kala Commune residency program. Cross-border collaborations and meaningful cultural exchange driving creative change across the region is fostered.
On happy headlines tonight, Sigiriya has been named the most welcoming city on earth for 2025.
Happy headlines.
Sigiriya, Sri Lanka has been named the most welcoming city on earth for 2025 by Booking.com as part of the 13th edition of the Traveller Review Awards. This accolade is backed by over 360 million verified customer reviews, celebrating accommodations that consistently deliver outstanding hospitality. Nestled in the heart of Sri Lanka's cultural triangle, Sigiriya is a destination that seamlessly blends natural splendor with rich history. The iconic Sigiriya Rock Fortress, A UNESCO World Heritage Site offers breathtaking views and showcases the architectural brilliance of ancient Sri Lanka. Visitors to Sigiriya can immerse themselves in the local village, renowned for its exquisite fabrics and handicrafts, including batiks, ornamental pots and handloom textiles. The lush landscapes of the Minneria National Park, famous for its spectacular wild elephant gatherings, add to the allure of this enchanting destination. From conquering the ascent to the fortress to embracing the tranquility of village life, Sigiriya offers an unforgettable blend of adventure and serenity.
From that, we bring to a close this edition of Primetime News on TV1.
Thank you for watching. Good night.